Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Am I too early?
Hi Amit,
Yeah, Amar, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, yeah. Long time. I hope everything is fine. Ghare sabu, everyone is safe and sound.
Yes. I actually was in Orissa from April till June end, so I guess longest break since like I
ଘରେ
think.
ସମସ୍ତେ ଭଲ ତ?
हाँ समझ ठीक ଅଛି। ଆପଣଙ୍କର ସବୁ ଠିକ୍ ଠାକ୍ ଚାଲିଛି? ହଁ
ହଁ ଚାଲିଛି. I think my sister fell ill, but she has recovered. So I'm
okay.
fine.
First second wave ରେ?
Second wave ରେ ତାଙ୍କର after the second vaccination though.
Oh shit. ମାନେ ହସ୍ପିଟାଲାଇଜ ମାନେ ପଡିଲେ ମାନେ ହସ୍ପିଟାଲାଇଜ ହେଇଥିଲା ନା କଣ ନା କିଛି ନାହିଁ?
ହଁ ମାନେ ICU.
ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ପରେ? प्रभु ମୁଁ ତ ଏତେ
but of course stories to ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ଅଛି ମାନେ very very sad cases also.
yeah
But I think just we have to be safe. And looks like there is another wave starting in Karnataka. Kind of sabu lockdown arma ହେଇଗଲାଣି ପୁଣି.
yeah ଜଣେ କଣ ଚାଲିଛି I guess
It's a never ending cycle right now. Let's see.
so you are stepping out of home या ସବୁବେଳେ
I'm working from home. And though
ମାନେ
I'm
ବାହାରକୁ ଯିବା ଆସିବା କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଲୋକଙ୍କୁ ଭେଟୁଛନ୍ତି ନା କିଛି ହବନି ସେଗୁଡା କିଛି ହବନି
once in a while, specific cases.
and you are vaccinated both doses
Yeah, vaccinated. So, hi Suraj.
Hi, hi, hi
Yes, sir.
Amit, hi Anand.
So are we ready to start?
Yeah, I think we should wait for 1 or 2 minutes, let people join, then we'll start.
No.
Biswa? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Biswa, we'll
Good morning,
start or we'll wait for some more time?
We can wait for 5 minutes, but it's okay. If we start, the people will join accordingly.
Okay. Okay, then we can start. So, second. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. It is a privilege to moderate this kind of webinar. So today's topic is role of capital in the journey of a startup. And to discuss about that, we have our two great people with us, Mr. Amit Singh and Mr. Amrendra Sahu. So Mr. Amit Singh has over 19 years of experience in IT services and investment banking. Currently co-head the enterprise technology and services vertical of Avendus investment banking business. Amit has concluded more than 45 transactions in technology and outsourcing space. And we have Amrendra, who is the co-founder of Nestaway, and also he is able to he is able to raise capital for his startup, and it is one of the leading company in the real estate segment. And also Amrendra is a alumnus of IIM Bangalore. So we have two people. So let's start the topic. So the question is, on first we just want to know what is a startup and what is the role of capital in building a startup. So we can start with Amit, because there are different stages of a startup, starting from ideation stage to series stage, growth stage, and other stages. So what is the role of capital in that, and how will raise the capital? And second question to Amarendra is when we should not raise the capital, because in the capital raising thing there are a lot of problems are there. Also there are a lot of work we have to do. So when to not raise the capital. So it's to you, Amit sir.
Suraj, thank you so much, and good afternoon, everyone. So I think it's looked like an interesting set of areas to cover, with me talking about why one should raise capital and Amar talking about why one should not raise capital. So I
Yeah.
think it will make it very interesting. I actually wanted to use a bit of a presentation. Do I have access to do that?
Yeah, Visu, you can give access to Amit sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Amit sir want to show some presentation, so give access to him so that he can
Yeah,
present something.
Yes, sir, I have already given access to everyone,
Okay.
so anybody can say. Yes. Yes, sir, I had already made cover, so you can share it easily
Yeah.
now.
Is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. So before I start, I think it is just important maybe to think of why do people become entrepreneurs. I am presuming that most of the people here are entrepreneurs. And to my mind, the reason people become entrepreneur is because they have identified an opportunity to create value, right? And really, it is that opportunity that they want to capitalize on. Now, please bear in mind that whenever you have an opportunity, and which essentially means that there is an essentially white space, it means that there is a vacuum has been created in nature, and nature abhors vacuum. So if you do not capitalize on the opportunity in a timely manner, the forces from all over the world will move in to fill this vacuum. So in essence, time, so in fact, time is of essence in these kind of matters when it comes to matters of entrepreneurship. Now, in our world, there is a equivalent to Einstein's formula of E is equal to delta mc square, where you have to replace C with the amount of capital at your disposal and not the speed of light. And the energy of every organization, according to us, is actually directly proportional to the square of capital at their disposal. So if you do not capitalize well in advance to take advantage of this opportunity or white space that you have identified, then you will miss the opportunity forever. So that is the basic premise on which the whole world of investment banking, whole world of fundraising, whole world of private equity and fundraise is premised upon. So I think with this prelude, I just want to take you through a bit of a presentation where I have tried to capture a couple of points. And I think what we can do is after I'm done and after Amar has also spoken, we can leave some time for some Q&A. The topic is actually quite vast, and each of the subtopic itself can be sessions by itself. But I'll try and kind of condense it for everyone's benefit, and then we'll take it from there. So if you look at this slide, and you don't have to make a lot of notes, I'll leave this presentation behind, so you don't have to really note and take notes. And I'm sure all of you are quite familiar with this. So this is typically how you would see the evolution of any company that takes place, right? And remember, for every stage of evolution of a company, there is a corresponding set of investors who would be interested in making an investment at that corresponding stage of evolution of the company. Sorry, give me a second. So if you look at this, I'm sure you are quite familiar with the whole growth story of every company. Either you start with an idea, you go to a minimal viable product stage, then you do a full-fledged launch, and then you can start exploring new markets, new products, new services, and then you expand further, and then you may reach actually a stage where the founders may want to take an exit, right? And correspondingly, there are investors or investment thesis that go hand in hand with each of the stage, right? Now, I have also kind of captured for you the kind of evolution of some very well-known unicorns, right? And it's very interesting and maybe instructional to see how they have gone about raising capital through their journey. So if you take a look at Byju's, they started the Series A in 2013 when RN came in. In 2013 itself, they went for Series B, where Sequoia came in, and that was a $25 million deal. In 2016, they raised 4 rounds. So within 1 year, there was 4 rounds with Sequoia, Innoven, and a whole bunch of stuff. And by the time they were done with the 4th round, the valuation of the company had reached almost 462, let's say $500 million by then, right? And in 2018, they got themselves the unicorn status when some of the bigger boys of the private equity world, like General Atlantic, Tencent, Naspers, they started coming in, and they raised around $100 million at a $2 billion valuation. And cut to 2021, today it is the highest valued unicorn in India. And you have the likes of Blackstone in the mix, right? Blackstone is maybe the largest private equity fund in the world today. So that's been Byju's journey. See how rapidly they have raised capital, and how the valuation has also gone hand in hand with the amount of capital that they are raising as well, right? Of course, the company has also shown growth. Similarly, you are all familiar with the Urban company, Urban Clap. Again, 2015 is when they got the seed money from Accel and Elevation, raised a modest $1.6 million. By 2015, towards the end of 2015, they went in for the 2nd round. They did 2 rounds there, actually back to back, at 10 million Series A round and a 25 million Series B round. And then 18 is when they did a Series C. And by 2019, they were well on path for an aggressive growth, where Tiger Global came in, and then Steadview Capital came in. It was a $50 million and a $75 million kind of a raise. And come to 2021, again, it's reached a unicorn status with the likes of Tiger Global as the investors. So this is just a quick perspective of how others have done it. So when you think of your capital raise plan, don't be shy to do multiple rounds of fundraise.
Students, please be connected. Let's try to connect with Swamiji.
Sorry.
No, I think some disturbance is there. So you can continue.
So I think this is just a snapshot, and there are hundreds of other such examples, but I thought 2 of them, which are quite familiar names, it's quite instructive, I thought, and that's why I just put it. So let me go to the next slide, right? Now here, what I have done is kind of added the various stages of investments or various types of investments that you would see in a typical journey of a startup, or for that matter of any company, right? And for each of these stages, there are a certain set of activities that are generally associated with each of this stage, right? Though of course the boundaries are not necessarily sacrosanct. So it's very important for you to know also, when you are thinking of raising capital, that at what stage, what is the general expected use of funds at that stage. So if you are looking at pre-seed, for example, then that money is generally used to maybe hire critical team members, develop a prototype. But when you go to a seed stage, the expectation is that you will use that money to come up with the actual fully functioning product. And by the time you are in Series A, the objective of Series A money should ideally be to test the market realities, to understand customer buying behavior, right? And when you go to Series B, that money is generally spent on making expensive hires. That is a time when you start experimenting with different revenue models. And by the time you are in Series C or plus, you are maybe even ready to use that money to start doing acquisitions. That's how it's a correspondence between the the stage of investment and what kind of usage of capital those stages typically entail. But as I said, these barriers are not necessarily sacrosanct, and there is enough and more flexibility to do things differently. So that's how the stages are. And again, We can discuss some of this in greater detail, but I just want to kind of leave you with a couple of these thoughts before we go to the, in the interest of time, right? Now, again, these are some of the methods of capital raising. I'm sure all of you are quite familiar with them, whether it is self-funding or VC, PE, angel investment, government grants, crowdfunding. There are various stages, various different types of capital raising avenues. But bear in mind, and again, I will not take you through each of the pros and cons, but bear in mind that there are pros and cons with each of these approaches. And no cons would be foolhardy. So, so that's the point number one that you must bear in mind. Second, please do bear in mind that it's great to be a founder, entrepreneur, CEO, but with great powers comes great responsibilities. And it's very, very important for you to know the motivation of the incoming investors. The investors can come in for profit motive, right? Or they can even come in for gratis, because that's where friends, family, and some well-wishers can come in, and even crowd-funded solutions can be actually gratis. But typically people come in for profit motive. And if people are coming for profit motive, it's very essential for you to know that what is the kind of time horizon that the investor has in mind. And please bear in mind that whenever you take money, as I said, it necessitates that it brings with it a certain sense of responsibility as well. But remember, you are generally responsible for providing liquidity back to the incoming investor. You are not necessarily required to ascertain or give a certain minimum return to the investor. I'll repeat myself. Your responsibility is to provide liquidity, not necessarily returns. Now, that may not always be the case, and there may be a certain contractual obligations where you are actually required to provide even a certain minimum returns to the investor. But remember, we are talking about largely equity investments. This is risk capital. You can make a lot of money and you can lose a lot of money. So to push the entrepreneur and promoter to kind of sign up to a certain minimum amount of return is, to my mind, not a fair proposition. But corporate investors will insist that you sign up for both. That means you will ensure liquidity and you will also ensure minimum return. And that is something that you must resist. That is very, very important. So going forward, and I'm kind of, these are some of the classical investors sets for each stage of investment. I will, again, as I said, I'll leave this presentation with you. You can look at it, and by no means this is exhaustive, but some good names that one keeps hearing about. If you go and look at their set of portfolios, you will find very, very familiar names that you hear of on a day-to-day basis. So just going forward, what I have done is I have kind of created a checklist of things that typically a founder should have in his or her back pocket when they think of doing fundraising, right? And again, the objective is not to get into the details. I will leave this with you. Each of these sections are full sessions by itself. But keep in mind a few things. Number one, a good project is a positive NPV project. NPV is net present value. So what it really means is that projects will bleed money in the early stages of investment, but there has to be a method to that madness that they should start earning profit in the future. So that if you discount the profits in the future to the current present time, you should end up with a positive number. Projects which are going to bleed money ad nauseum are not good projects. They are not necessarily bankable projects. So that's number one. Now you can always argue that there are so many e-commerce companies that continues to bleed. There is a different mindset. There's a different thinking out there. But a rule of thumb, a good project is a positive NPV project, and you must use that as the rule of thumb when you are thinking of your business plan. That's point one. Number two, please bear in mind that the maximum value gets created when the addressable market that you are targeting is a growing market, and your market share in that addressable market is a growing proportion. So market is growing, your market share is growing. If you have a thesis where the market is growing maybe, but your market share kind of stagnates, that can set alarm bells in the minds of investors because it can quickly start shrinking as well. So the maximum value creation occurs when the market is growing and your market share in that market is growing. So definitely have that thought in mind. Number three is you must have plan B, because life is not linear. Life needs a feedback loop. And investors expect to have plan B. And when you meet investors, they will ask you, what if this fails? And I see this common mistake which entrepreneurs make over and over again. They have not thought of plan B. What would they do in case the desired set of things don't play out the way they hope it will play out? So please have plan B. And last but not the least, please bear in mind that investors are not angels. They are going to drive a very, very hard bargain, and you must prepare well for it. And of course, having a good lawyer and good set of advisors is usually money well spent, but also you can learn from the experience of other founders and other entrepreneurs, because the problem sets are generally similar. So you must prepare well for that, because despite the names of angel investors and whatnot, investors are definitely not angels. They are, I shouldn't say vicious animals, but they are profit-driven animals, and they will drive a very hard bargain, right? And keeping that in mind, I have kind of listed down a set of rights which typically an investor would seek of any entrepreneur when they make that investment. And again, this is a whole bunch of very specific things. We can go through it in greater detail. But please bear in mind what I said earlier. With great powers come great responsibilities. And if you have taken somebody else's money and they are a minority shareholder, you have certain obligations towards them. But it's a two-way street. Sometimes investors try to, I mean, for lack of a better word, even fool entrepreneurs into accepting terms which are non-standard. At the same time, investors, of course, find themselves at times at the mercy of unscrupulous entrepreneurs as well. So it is a fine balance, and one needs to be careful and aware. You should be aware of all these 7-8 points that I have listed down here, and not only be aware, but you should have a point of view with respect to each one of them when you go and meet any investor. So I think this is the kind of thing I just wanted to cover. And maybe we'll leave some of the stuff for questions and answer. And as I said, I will leave this presentation behind and happy to connect with people subsequently to discuss some of this. So Suraj.
Yeah. Before let's take care of this thing, we have some queries. One thing is, in Odisha, most of the businesses are like family businesses. So most of the people who come to us, either they have a family business, they just want to scale up. And second thing is, everyone asks is how to approach the investors. It is like simple giving a mail or connecting through LinkedIn or connecting through your channels. How will approach the investors or the angel investor or equity fund or private equity fund, something like that?
So there are multiple channels. One is, of course, your own personal networks. that you use to reach out to people. And then there are professional service providers who are investment bankers who can actually help you craft a storyline and create the business case and business thesis, and then go to specific investors who have interest in the specific areas that your business operates in. So I think that these are the two channels: either you use your own network or you take professional help of investment bankers.
Okay, and the dilution means each fundraise at last means how much dilution we have to do. Is there a thumb rule available?
No, there is no thumb rule available, but what one needs to keep in mind is obviously you don't want to dilute so much that you have no skin left in the game. And I think investors also understand, while they would like to obviously lower the valuation so that they get a larger stake, but they also know that they don't want to be in a situation where the founder and the prime mover behind the idea has no skin in the game left. At the same time, I mean, you must also factor in that this is not the only time you will take in capital. You will take in capital in subsequent stages as well. And each of these stages could entail a further dilution. So I think it has to be done through in a slightly well thought through manner, not only about the current level of dilution, but bear in mind some future levels of dilution as well. And the third point is, it is always better to own a smaller slice of a very big pie than to own a very big piece of a very small pie. So the usage of funds also has to be very clear, and the usage of fund has to only and only deliver growth.
Okay. And the second question, what about the family businesses that is there? So they want to scale up. In Odisha, we found most of the people have their own family businesses. Either they, so no one want to pursue that, but those businesses have also some potential. It not may be the startups, but obviously with your knowledge and all, you can make a business plan. You can take it to the next level. So what is the your suggestion for them to raise capital for that?
Sure, it is never, it's not only for startups, right? You
Yeah.
can, as I showed in this journey, companies are at various stages of evolution. So if there is a company which is at a mature stage of evolution, there is a different class of investors available, and they are willing to invest. And personally know some many friends who run very successful family businesses, and they have not only grown existing businesses, they have moved into different areas, they have moved into different business models, and they are doing very well, and many of them raise capital as well. So you don't have to look at seed stage in that case. You can look at a late stage, growth stage, even buyout, and many family businesses eventually end up maybe even selling the businesses because they want to move on, or generation next wants to do something different existing set of businesses and move out, right?
Yeah, for the example, Baiju, they have started with a simple coaching store. Now they have changed their business plan. Now it is the most valuable startup in this country. So our suggestion is for those people who are running their family business, they will come up with a different plan or a business plan or something like that. So obviously that can be scaled up. So now coming to another, your views on the capital, when not to raise the capital, or what are the problems while you raise the capital? Because you have raised so much of capital, you might have experience in that process. What are the problems you have faced? Why you should not raise the capital?
Thank you for having me. Great conversation, Amit. I think he sort of touched on all the crucial aspects of when to raise, how much to raise, whom to raise from, and for what use case. It's quite funny that I think people who have gone through this business usually advise that to be like reticent in raising funds, and people who are running businesses are the ones who say go raise funds as much as you can. But I guess the role reversal is interesting, so I'm going to take a step at it. To me, I think entrepreneurs are a very special breed of people. They're super passionate about what they do, And what happens is that today, for good or bad, starting up is completely linked to raising funds. So a lot of people come to me and ask that when they think of starting up in their head, it seems like not the problem that they should solve for is capital, and this is quite unfortunate. Honestly, I think capital has its own role to play, but if entrepreneurs start thinking that without capital they can't move, um, uh, I think it's quite wrong, to be honest, right? Entrepreneurs are the most resourceful sets of individuals, and there are some businesses where capital is needed, and for many businesses, the cost of starting up in India today is close to zero, right? I think there are a lot of engineers, there are a lot of product builders, there are a lot of marketeers. So I think the right problem to solve, to me, is to build a product or a let's just say minimum viable product, a prototype, and test it in the market even before the thought of fundraising even crosses your mind. Because even if you have money, what are you going to do with it? Even if people give the family businesses 100 crores, do they even know what to do with it? So a lot of people think capital as a problem solver. I think capital helps you helps you solve a problem if you know what is the solution. So I keep telling people that, do you know what are you going to do with it? And if you, and a lot of people say that I would do product development, I'll do technology development, I'll do marketing. To me, these are fillers, right? They mean nothing unless you exactly know that this is how I am going to hire 3 engineers. I am going to take 6 months, and at the 6 months, this is my plan, and this is the distribution plan, and here are sort of money that I'm going to put uh, and sort of execute it out. Today, what is happening in the market, and maybe Amit would agree with that. A lot of money that startups are raising in India is actually going back to marketing. Uh, which is unfortunate, because I think uh, uh, it essentially means that people are trying to grow their customer base without having understood alternate channels, and without really understanding whether this channel pays for itself, or whether there are positive unit economics around it. What I mean by that, if I sell to Amit, am I going to make money? Today, what is happening in the market is that people are raising funds to sell to Amit, even if Amit doesn't need it, or even may not even consider it, or even Amit does not consider it. So I guess the passion of entrepreneurs are actually about solving big problems. And to me, if you solve a good problem and you have unique insights into the problem solving, you should be able to gather people, because startups are all about people. So if you are willing to share, see what was happening in I think old world order is that promoters were not comfortable in sharing the fruit of the fruit, right? I think they wanted 100% control, so they wanted to hire employees, and so that may need money, because there's a cash cycle mismatch. You need money today to be able to make profit tomorrow. So what's happening today? I could talk about tech entrepreneurship, that you could as well get your friends and seniors and colleagues who are going to work because they share the same vision and they think it's going to build something big, and they can come and work with you without even needing money. I think to me that's a very hallmark of entrepreneurship, because in your life, in your journey, you are going to need because at the end of the day, money is about finally is going to go to people or marketing. And I'm saying the other big portion is unproductive. It has its own role when you have figured out the entire equation, but to begin with, it's absolutely unproductive. So if you cannot build a core team of people through equity, I think you need to do a lot of soul searching, especially in entrepreneurship. And capital, what is happening in the market is that I think in the last 20 years in the world, tech stocks have given disproportionate returns that the world never knew is possible. Look at Google, look at Amazon. So I guess what is playing in the market is greed. And I think time of entrepreneurs is like the fodder. What is happening in this entire equation is that a smart young guy in his 20s or 30s, his or her, is committing 10 years of life because I think he or she is getting disillusioned about the fact that, it is all about returns, right? I think, and investors coming early, later, A, B, C, D, make you believe that, right? But to me, and having done it for the last 10 years, I think the, how do I say, the sheer joy of solving a problem well is unparalleled. Like, with money comes lots and lots of responsibilities. So I tell people that don't raise money because it gives you a chance to pivot or exit. If you have raised seed money, and I can talk about my friends, and India is a very fiduciary market, right? I think what is happening is that young guys, they feel obligated to give a return. I say you don't. It's risk capital at the end of the day. If things are not working out, shut shop, move on. But that should not be an excuse to not try hard. So I guess, there's a demand supply mismatch in the market. So there are few investors, and like India is like, everything in India is like lot, right? There are a lot of entrepreneurs. So that creates a very imbalanced equation. So like hundreds of people are chasing one investor, and by the law of demand and supply, rules are not in your favor to begin with. So I guess there has to be a lot of education in the ecosystem when entrepreneurs go and say, hey, this is my plan. So the question is how much equity to give. That equation should be controlled by the entrepreneur. Like, this is what I'm giving, take it or leave it kind of thing. And not with this arrogance, but at the end of the day, people are investing time, which is equally or more valuable than somebody investing money. And unless entrepreneurs respect it themselves, and because that respect, you can only respect if you deeply understand. The issue is today entrepreneurship is equally fashionable. Like in my days, getting into consulting was fashionable. From IIM campus, and getting into Google was also fashionable when Google was like a really large company. So I think today starting up is fashionable, and to me it's actually just another job. I guess there is nothing romantic about it. Calling yourself a founder, calling yourself a CEO, they mean nothing. I mean, like, if your companies are 4 people, whether you call yourself a product manager, project manager, or a CEO, it means nothing. So I guess succeeding in entrepreneurship needs a lot of level-headedness. And it also needs to know the rule of life. I think you need to know that good things and bad things happen. And good things wouldn't change your life forever, or bad things are not going to change your life forever. So when people come to me and say that, we are not getting money, what should we do? Should we quit? I said, yeah, you quit. Like, if you are into this sport to do things only if you get money, you should quit today, because there are far easier ways of having a great life and making money. I would imagine that the per hour wage rate in the early 5 years is 0 in entrepreneurship. So, so I guess there's a crazy amount of romanticism around it. I am an entrepreneur because I truly like doing what I do. I truly like solving problems. I truly enjoy, and to me, even fundraise is a problem. I don't think it as an enabler or it's going to be life changing. And I know I need money when I have a formula that I want to grow. Because as Amit rightly said, when you raise funds, the clock starts ticking. And because if the investor puts the same money into fixed deposit, he gets 6%. If he puts into real estate, he gets 10% land. If he puts into you, he thinks 20% in his own head, because he thinks that he's also going to lose money somewhere else. So on the good ones, the pressure is disproportionate. So you got to be a guy who can handle that. And the easiest way of handling it, saying, I don't take that pressure. I just don't. Like, it's not productive. Like, if pressure makes me successful, I think I would have been successful in class 10th and 12th exam. Like, and it's not just one act, right? I would tell you 10th, 12th, engineering, medical, like, entrance exam, just one act. and then you don't need to. But I think entrepreneurship needs you to be on it like for good 5 years. So the role of capital to me is 10%. It's a lot of psychological fitness that you need to be a good entrepreneur. So uh, for both the stories of Byju's and let's say Urban Clap that Amit told, in 2009 when I was when I was in IIM Bangalore, I did this TV-based technology company, TV-based education company, and I met Byju's back then, and he was a very successful teacher. And what stands out about him is that he's super passionate about teaching. So come fundraise, no fundraise, online, offline, I don't think he romanticized it. And he was a solo founder, by the way. He was just running his own coaching class, and he came to me and we wanted to do something on television. Somehow it didn't materialize, but he's a deeply passionate individual. So I guess a lot of that is to put through from 2009 to 2014. How many of us are ready to put that 5 years? And for Urban Club, when it came, Amit may remember, there was another company called HouseJoy way back in 2014-15. Amazon funded them. Amazon gave them $41 million. So, and then, these guys were not that funded. And then, people competed. And, Aviral is again, I am Ahmedabad 2009 batch. And again, deeply passionate guy. The point is, money is optional, passion and the understanding that good and bad things are like cousins, they'll keep happening, and that shouldn't deter you, is how you should think of it. I mean, money is not a qualification criteria, guys. Like, not having it or having it means nothing. At least at seed and pre-seed stage, right? I was mentoring a company, Odisha-based startup, again, and I did Arkula guys. In the pandemic, 2000, no, actually a little bit before that, 2019 September around. Yes, just yesterday there is this announcement of Good Meetings. It's actually a completely full ODI guys company. They raised $1.7 million. Now imagine how many of you are okay to go through 2 years from 2020 full and 21, 1.5 year of thing, pandemic, absolute gloom in the market, and still keep your heads high that we want to do this. So the beauty about raising funds that I've understood is that if you don't need it, it comes to you. And if you chase it, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but I guess it just teaches you that it is you who is doing it. Usually it's market and business that does the fund. And founders matter when they bring passion to the game. They don't matter when they bring certificates and laurels and bunch of other things into the game. So I always advise to young people that always think of it, and I practice it, that you are as good as the last 6 months. So where you come from, what you have done, if it is older than 6 months, it doesn't matter. And it's good because if you screwed up in the last 6 months also, it doesn't matter. So so if you haven't been able to raise funds, and if you raise funds again, or you raised and didn't work out, in the large scheme of things, they all even out. So to me, in my head, I think the role of capital, I have never given it more worth than my own passion and my own commitment to the game. Yeah, so I just thought this is an alternative perspective, and I've been fairly successful in raising capital. But I know that, yeah, I think that clock, the timing, the pressure, your own thing. I mean, like, if you are into making money, there are far easier ways. far easier ways. Venture capital is a very difficult way of making money. I think, yeah, Amit would agree, I guess. With stock markets, take a longer position, you'll make good amount of money. You could just sleep at home and things would be good.
Yeah, now our next question is, how much typical time it takes to raise the money? Means if raise fund or an angel fund, how much time it will take?
I don't know how to answer the question. I guess let me give you a slightly twisted answer.
Yeah.
I guess if everything is good,
Yeah.
it can happen in 3 months.
Okay.
And if things are not good and you're chasing investor, it may take 3 years. So the
Okay.
key doesn't lie in timing. The key lies in, are you doing something that is worthwhile?
Okay.
So I think a lot of people keep sending, try to think of it as a process. And the prerequisite is a great business and great passion and, enabler. And honestly, not all business needs capital. Like the return requirement is 18%, let's say, give or take, in fact, 5-10 years. Do you really want to take that pressure? Like, there are far easier ways. Like, not all entrepreneurship, I don't think a lot of real businesses could deliver 18% return before IPO. And IPO may not be the greatest outcome because, the India's largest media conglomerate, BCCL, is private. Because public markets bring a lot of accountability. So investors, for good or bad, as Amit told, they want an exit. So if you take money, you may not be able to remain private, and remaining private can actually give you a lot of flexibility. You don't need anyone's approval. Like, tomorrow you decide you pivot. I think people who enjoy the sport of entrepreneurship enjoy a private company a lot more. People who enjoy the glamour of entrepreneurship and name and fame and investors and exits and returns also get into. I'm like, somebody has to argue really hard with me as to, if I ever become successful, why should I go public? Like, and I don't agree fully with Amit's thing. It is my responsibility to give money. I think to give an exit to investors. I think it's they can go and find out themselves. So if I find, I may facilitate that. But I just don't think so hard and fast about me giving them an exit. Yeah, I think I value my time and their lock-in equally. I mean, like, if I am committed, if I am exiting, I should definitely find them something better. That would not be right on my behalf. But if I'm onto it, I guess, this is how the.
Now the next question is, Amit, is there any criteria of choosing an investor? Let's say Amarendra's company is a real estate based company, so he should get fund from a real estate company or larger corporate who is working in the real estate sector, or he should get money from a different segment of people who don't have any knowledge in real estate. So is there any criteria of choosing a particular investor in the same sector, different sector, or like that?
So I think, people talk a lot about capital when they are thinking of investor. I think they forget the other C, which is chemistry.
Yeah.
Because this is almost like a marriage.
Yeah.
Even if it's a short-term marriage, but it is a marriage, right? And the chemistry of investor is very, very critical. And the valuation may be right, the brand name may be right, but if there's no chemistry between two guys who are going to see each other, strategize for the next 4 or 5 years, it can be a recipe for disaster. So that's very important. Chemistry is very important. Second is, what is your expectation from them, right? Is your expectation that they just provide you dumb money, or there is an expectation that they will add some value? Now, if the expectation that they will add value, then they must have the capability of adding value, which means they must understand the space, they must have the right kind of connects, both at to help you hire people, to help you win business, or to even provide you sane advice. So, and if that means it's a real estate focused fund is able to provide that kind of an advice, then you choose them. But that doesn't necessarily mean, I mean, at the end of the day, these are also very commonsensical factors. So one doesn't have to be a specialist to be able to be helpful. But yes, if there is some merit to specialization always in life.
Now the next question is advices for the investor, because a lot of people from Odisha, they want to be an investor. They want to invest in a startup or a growth company or that company which is in the scale-up stage. What is your advice to them? So they should blindly put some money in that, or what should they look after the team or the business plan or a geography of operation? What is your advisor for the investor?
Gantadev.
Yes, sir.
Sushant here.
Yeah.
Just tell me in Odisha the two names who want to put money. Give me 2 names. Just give me 2 names.
Yes, sir.
I don't 4 5. Just give me 2 names who want to put money in a startup.
Yes,
Why
sir.
to give a wrong picture to the whole community? Tell me.
You
just me 2 names who I can give it 10 projects. Even our yeah, Amar Bhai Singh Bhai Authenticity, he is my friend only. I brought him to the OCA forum. Tell me, you give me 2 names who want to put money in the startup. Just 2 names. Forget about 10 names. Let us not talk on which is not viable to Odisha people. They will put a startup.
Yes, sir. The Odisha best people who are outside.
I'm just telling. Give me 2 names.
Sir, Braja Misra, he told me he have 2 million funding. He want to put it into startup. And second is Subhanshu Pani. He have around 1 million. He is the currently JLL.
Subhanshu Pani. Pani will put money.
Yeah, he already put 2 crores rupees in 2 startups, Odisha based.
Then why can't you take 5-6 startup and give them a presentation? They can put. See, we have been talking for last 2 years, same thing.
Yeah.
See, let us talk how to get money from the outside where money is available.
Yeah.
Where we can get money really for the people, and Mr. Singh is the right person, or we have got other person. Odisha money, people will put money, will survive and get startup.
No, for the seed capital, at least you need 1 to 2 crore rupees to start with. The whole idea is to give 10 startups at least 20 lakhs rupees to start with, to nurture their ideas and all. What are the associated with Startup Odisha or the incubators we have? Just as a investor, we have to put 2 crores rupees into 10 startups, 20 lakh each. Then we have to work with them to develop their business plan, growth plan, everything. Then you can approach to the angel investors or VC firms and all. So that is the scenario. The whole idea is to create some of the startups from Odisha which can achieve the growth what Amarendra did with and other people what did with other startups. So from Odisha base, we need at least 2 names.
No,
in next 5 years.
Sir, we can get some Odia people.
Yeah.
Who has got a fantastic idea, good concept, something
Yes.
also in the boardroom level.
Yes.
Some people also get funding in the concept also. Let us go to like the world. Why always Oriya people within Odisha?
No. This is not,
It
sir.
will not work
Actually,
out.
this is the ecosystem we are creating. One is we are creating the entrepreneur, and second one we are encouraging Odia-based high net worth.
Sir, Odisha people, people, they will put money in Odia venture. जोड़ा माने impossible कहते हैं Odisha people
We will try at
venture.
least. Yeah, we'll try, sir, at least 2. Otherwise, you'll get money
Because
from.
I have done 4. So
Yeah.
I have done 4 just to.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Example. Amarendra
So
is
I qualified to, because I don't live in Odisha. I don't know if
Yeah.
that qualifies, but I guess yeah, I think it has to start at some point in time. And then
No, sir. If you are really going big or going, I think we have to go to a real either VC or PE. Angel funding and all, it is okay, available everywhere.
Sir,
But
actually,
when you are looking at a bigger scale.
Yeah, when we started in 2012, the whole thing is 10 minutes, 10 million. The whole idea is whoever was presenting at that time give 10 lakh rupees. It was an alumni association. They have given that. So that ecosystem started there in IIT Bombay. Powai was there. So it was the Powai Valley, something like that. So it was started in that. Something we have to do in Odisha. That is the whole motivation. Money, people, if they will agree, okay.
I also we are from Odisha, but actually,
Yes,
if you really want to help our Odia people entrepreneur,
Yeah.
people like our you are there, Singh Bhai there.
Yeah.
So they will connect us to many people. Really, those have got money. Like you say, he has got 2 million. He cannot put money into one company 2 million. He may put 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs like Angel.
But sir, the question is there any startup from Odisha who are ready to get to get 2 million?
There, Odisha, you have got 70, 80 startups. You know, other day they came. When you came, other day I don't know.
Yeah, but
many, because they come for a meeting. Somebody from Odisha they will give. We have to really this forum to utilize to get some good link through people like you or through like Amara Singh Saab, Amara Bangalore Singh Bhai. Yeah, they will really help. You will get money from Odia entrepreneurs, and again after 2, 3, 6 months they'll stop. So they would have gone to some level, so they will stop somewhere. You have to really go where you can this language where it can be scalable. Like really somebody has got patience for 1 or 2 years, 3 years, 4 years to wait and see how really we can help the entrepreneurs. Amar jane has mobile and battery charger. There is a fantastic concept that break down the Anywhere you repair a vehicle, car, like, the fantastic concept are there. Even he was from IIM MBA from Ahmedabad. I think he started. I think you are doing very well. I don't know, maybe during lockdown. I think the last time some people zero down to put money also in this company. That like your anywhere breakdown, your car breakdown, you get anywhere, any district, any road. So they will be giving the standby support for the maintenance repair. And somebody was saying, I will do a charging of the mobile in 5 minutes and 100% will charge. One more person came for lighting something. So it is a good concept there, but slowly it is went up, didn't even take up. A lot of good concept. I think 60, 70 companies that came. So those we have got a good connection. You are also in Bombay. Amra Singh Bhai was in Bangalore, and Pani Bhai Koile, he has also got a good link. If they can really support, they're looking at big. I'm not saying we'll go to always 100 million or 200 million.
In this meeting is like we are building an ecosystem. Let
Yes.
you come to, all of us to come together, put a solid plan how to deal with, how to create this ecosystem and build a platform. This will encourage Odia people to start something, and also will invite all the VC firms or angel investors to Odisha, put their money. But before that invitation, you need some real companies and real entrepreneurs from Odisha. So we have to identify them. Previously, what happened, that is a different story. And now actually we are starting from the day one. Let's say it is from day one. We should create that. And sir, putting money is not at all a problem. Like Amarendra told, he want to put some money. I am also can put 5 to 6 crore in Odia startup. That is not an issue. But is there any company available in Odisha where you will put the money? Or what is the growth plan? They will restrict themselves to Odisha, or they will go to different geography? Because in startup world, we need linear investment with exponential growth. So that kind of startup or something strategical means there are a lot of auxiliary startups people can buy. Like someone is building a product that is required for IOCL, oil and natural gas field. There are a lot of auxiliary space we can build here. Means products we can build here, which can be taken over by other big corporates or companies or like that. So the strategy we have to put. Previously, what happened in Odisha was like lot of investment means bankers, not investment bankers. They were actually guiding the people in startup Odisha. What is happening? The MSME department, or the what they call is that who is looking after this MSME, they are leading the startup Odisha. So the scenario we want to change. So this is the first discussion.
So, just to kind of to get back to the question that I also put, I think if somebody is looking at investing money, my suggestion is the most important thing, especially if it's early stage. Look at the individual reputation, and your comfort with the individual becomes paramount, because you have to back the individual. Business plans can change, market dynamics can change, company's performance can change. There's so many variables that are just beyond your control. The only thing and only important thing, especially for early stage investment, is the person. Can you trust him? Do you believe in his story? And so that's become the single biggest factor. The second thing is what Amar mentioned some time ago, that you have to be convinced about the unit economics of the venture, whether that product has a positive unit economics associated with it. And if it is, then obviously with scale and with a certain bit of luck as well, and market conditions, they will make money. And once the company grows, you will also benefit from it, because eventually your objective investment is profit motive, right? And the third, the most important thing is what kind of growth orientation does the founder have? If you get stuck at a certain size and scale and you can't think beyond that size and scale, most probably that venture will fail. So as I said, for value creation, the market has to be growing, as well as your market share has to be growing, which means that the company needs to have a growth mindset. If you don't have a growth mindset, or can they think 100x? Can they think 1000x? Can they think 10,000x from where they are today? That is very, very important. And the flexibility to course correct. So as I was saying, maybe plan B is required at every step. So are they open-minded enough to say that, okay, this didn't work, but I will now double down and look for a plan B, an alternative. So I think these are some of the criteria and traits that people use before they make an investment decision.
And to
Now-
add to that, I would say that as an angel investor, only do it if you're okay losing it. I think a lot of people go through a lot of heartache because they think it is going to make them money. See, there is fixed deposits, there is mutual funds, there is public equity, and there is private equity. I guess I tell people do it because you like the guy and you believe that you want to be helpful in his journey. A lot of people get very emotionally entangled because they think they know it all. So they get back into advising, course correcting, become very active and vigilant in the early days, right? So, and that's just absolutely counterintuitive, I guess, counterproductive for the entrepreneur. I think if you're okay losing money, then only do it. And losing the entire base, I guess, not just that. So,
Go ahead, Satyam.
Yeah, now I think as Chaudhary sir raised your question, so there is a suggestion we require from Amit and Amarendra. Is like in Odisha, we have a lot of incubators. There is a startup Odisha. Now, what should we do? We should start an angel investment fund specific dedicated to Odisha, or we'll start an accelerator. We'll form a consultant group who can take care of the startup, who can guide them, handle them. What should be the path we should follow? That's like Odisha.
ନା ଗୋଲ ଗୋଲ ପାଳ ଛତୁ ମାନେ କୋଉଟା ଆମର ସେ ଯୋଉ ଗୋଲ ଗୋଲ ହେଇକିରି ତ ହଁ ଏଇ
Hello.
Hello, can I speak now?
Okay, sir. This context to this scenario, we need an incubator, accelerator, angel investment. What should we do for Odisha?
At this moment, I think you need people who can guide the people. Like Amit Singh was telling, it is what is startup actually? There should be a vision, there is a dream, there should be a intention to scale up, etc. Just merely opening a tea shop or something and catering to a local market does not bring in capital. So you need to have some people who have done startup, failed or success, that's different part. They understand the startup ecosystem. They should be there to guide these people. Many people, when they start, they may not have the vision, but these people can guide them to have the vision. And then comes the role of angel or other different stage, depending on the stage, different funding people. I had the privilege of to be a mentor of a small startup which was not in tech. They were trying to aggregate preschool education. Okay, preschool education, and then they aggregated it. But then because of the pandemic, they got after they aggregated 10 schools at their own cost, and they could standardize the education delivery system. So this is an important criteria which can be done with your own money and other things. Maybe a little help from some other people, because till then you are not in the state. And then when it was found that, okay, this has a potential, Avishkar Capital, they put in their money, very small amount, 4 crores. But unfortunately, they could not, because of the COVID, things got into a lot of problem. But this time, these people had got into the game. So they could develop the software, the platform, where this preschool education can be offered online. Now, Avishkar Capital has committed 40 crores. And they are going national, because now with the model, they can go national, they can go international also. And I'm very happy to tell you, they are getting students, of course, these are mostly NRI students who are from Australia, who are from US, who are from even Dubai. So first, foremost thing is that when you have the idea that, yes, I have a good idea, I have a startup, but can I grow it? Or can it be grown to a level that it can attract venture capital? If I want to have Dalema and I want to have 3, I cannot get a big venture capital. It's only local, somebody want to be my partner, he can be there. I approached Angan, I'm sorry, I shouldn't name it. I approached one restaurant. They did not want to give up control. They want to remain in control. They wanted investor, and because they had a cash flow, they can pay interest. So that is not a case of venture capital. But tomorrow, if they decide, yes, I will have Angan restaurant pan India or in the major cities, like the way super specialty, the Hakka and mainland China went on. Then you need private equity or venture capital depending on the stage you are. So coming back to your point, whatever interaction I have done with many of the Odisha startup incubator, the people with dreams, they need to be incubated. In fact, in my university, I am from Sushi University, one student had a very good idea about digitally improving the farmer input delivery system. But since I am not from agriculture, OU, ATU, others could not really give him the idea how he can bridge the gap digitally. He wanted to have Krishi Seva Kendras in different places, so they could not give him the how he can build up the supply chain. So somebody has to be in the input supply chain or somebody has to be in the output supply chain. So these hand-holding, these guidance can come from experienced people, industry veterans, backed up by those which have a venture capitalist mindset.
Yeah, also we did connections, merger, acquisition, like you told.
That is too far. That is too far. You are thinking of too far.
Sir, I am telling is like you told the preschool thing. So there is a Hello Kids. It is a Bangalore-based company. That is Odia founder. They have 400 branches all across India. Preschool chain. It is a competitor of G Kids and all. So people are Odia, people are there, they are working, they say preschool chain. So your startup, what you mentioned, if they can get guidance from Hello Kids founder and all, so that will be a great value. So coming to our original question, my original question is like, where we should start? Like, you know, incubation, there are a lot of incubator centers are there, as central government is providing some assistance. I think around 20-30 incubators are there in Odisha. Now, what is the next step? We'll build an accelerator or or a investment, angel investment with company in Odisha who will dedicatedly focus on startup based in Odisha and Odia people who are doing startup outside. What is your view, Amarendra and Amiji?
I think you talk with Subrat Bagchi.
Yeah.
Who is very much involved with the skill development of Odisha also.
Yes, sir.
And he has invested a lot of money in the development venture capitals. So he will be the right person to guide Odisha from different stages. And he loves Odia.
Yes, sir. We'll talk to him. His number and mail ID is with us. We'll connect with him once we're ready with basic proposal. That is not an issue.
You cannot leapfrog certain stages. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, Amit, you will go first and then I will follow.
So let me go first. Thanks, Amar. So I think number one is you need dedicated people. You can't have part-time part-time promoters here giving ideas and gyan to people. Yeah. It is a matter of life and death for many of the entrepreneurs, life in sweat and blood, right? So I think you need to have dedicated people. If they have done this in the past, if they have not done in the past, but bring some other wealth of expertise to the table, that's still okay. And third and more importantly, they must have an appreciation for technology, because the single biggest disruptor today in this world is technology. And anyone who does not appreciate technology, I mean, he doesn't have to be a technologist in the sense he shouldn't start coding and all that, but he should have an appreciation, or she should have an appreciation for technology. That will make or break all startups at this point. I think if the person meets all these three criteria, we must have such people. If Subroto can spend time and effort, because obviously we are distracted with a whole bunch of things right now, doing a great job of it. But we need people who can really give dedicated time and energy. I'm personally not very familiar with the startup ecosystem in Odisha and what are the various entities that exist. But I think, to my mind, these three are necessary conditions for it to succeed.
Yeah, so I would echo Amit on that. I think So there's a rule in our game, right? When you need money, ask advice. When you need advice, ask for money. So what is happening worldwide are in, I think incubators are like hobbies for people. Honestly, what is happening is that this shortage of skill, because what was relevant 15 years ago is not relevant today, honestly. As Amit told, tech moves much faster. So instead of we offering our advice, because I myself consider relic now, because things are moving at a rate while I'm in thin and thick of things, it's pretty hard to sort of advise what's going to happen in crypto, what's going to happen into the future of travel. These are very and the best guys are the ones who are doing it. There are 27-year-old kids who are doing it, who are getting bruised every single day and who are learning. Now, I think what we should do as a group, if you want to sponsor people, ODR people, all great ecosystem have started when great people came and did it, right? Aisa nahi hai ki they are there in Orissa today, they may be anywhere. So I suggest people that there is a very interesting concept called rolling funds in the US. What's happening that you guys all put in small amount of money, as I said, the money that you are okay, sort of letting go. Let's say 10,000 rupees a month, which is rolling, right? You commit yourself for 3 years. So 3 years may you give like 3.6 lakhs, and you have 100 such guys. So this is 3.6 crore, no, 3.6 into 100 such guys, 3.6 crore worth of kitty. I tell people who are starting that, don't get into this building, incubator thing, because they may not be relevant for people. With this 3.6 crores of corpus, which is committed corpus, go get some of the best advice from people. As Mr. Binod Gopal Mukherjee was telling, there are guys, I may not be the best guys, and let the advice be paid. So that there is seriousness into it, and you could hold these people giving advice accountable to it. What is happening is that there's a lot of free noise in the market. So part hobby, part show off, part bunch of other things. If someone is advising, you ask him put in 10 lakhs. So this is very absolutely simple rule that I tell young entrepreneurs to do. And if all of us do not want to do that, we may contribute 10K to the kitty where the guy could go and solicit great advice. So to me, it's not setting a fund, but holding even advisors accountable to the game, holding entrepreneurs accountable to the game. Today, what is happening not just in India but across state governments and things, it has sort of degenerated into some sports. University campuses have now incubators. These are namesake. There is no quality advice. I don't even think the professors of IIM Bangalore are like able to catch up with the speed with these things are happening. So this is very customer backwards approach, right? If entrepreneurs are going to be the guys who are going to do it, if as a group we could get them access to great advice, and that would be our contribution. That could be great institutional fundraise services providers. That could be great guys in marketing, in product, in tech, in business building. I think we would be contributing to that process. Read about when you're rolling funds in the US, you guys will get ideas.
Yeah. So basically, what I understood from you is what basically AHA Venture and IPV Venture, what they are doing. So they are building an ecosystem and getting investors on board.
Suraj, we get confused with this word ecosystem, platform. There's like lot. I guess these are fancy words. I guess it's like this. Okay, I'll tell you what I did recently. I have a 12-year-old class 12 cousin. He said, "What should I do?" I paid 5,000 rupees to a professional future, education counselor to go and give him advice, because I am out, right? I need to understand what I can do and what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. I'm not good at guiding a 22, 16-year-old guys to what is best now, right? I guess it needs a lot of humility to be able to do that. So if all of us here, or maybe the OCF in general, if we really care about creating entrepreneurship as a stream in Orissa, we might want to commit ourselves beyond time and let the time be paid by people. I think
yes. So everything should be paid. So not freebies, free advice and all.
I mean, like then we are into the market of choosing. We are not into the market of getting what we get. Right? So you say that if this is the thing, you want to get the best advice from, the unicorn company founder, product head, marketing head, whoever that guy is. Let him talk, so that then you know that we did our job. I unfortunately think a lot of us assume a lot of, the so-called the privilege of knowledge, and I should think we should always super suspect about our capability in advising young people. I mean, like, it should start with a healthy dose of disbelief in self, and giving the guy a chance. I think that's when we would be able to, in my view, would be able to do our job.
Yeah, I think we are running out of time, so we'll take some quick questions from the audience. So anyone want to ask something or any queries, just you can ask. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Actually, ମୁଁ ଅବିନାଶ sir କେଉଁଝରରୁ କହୁଛି। ମୋର ଟେକ୍ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟଅପ୍ ଛୋଟ ଚାଲିଛି, ତ ମୁଁ ପ୍ରୋଟୋଟାଇପିଂ ରେଡି କଲା ପରେ ଏବେ MVP ଷ୍ଟେଜରେ ଆସିଯାଇଛି ମୋର ପ୍ରଡକ୍ଟ ଯୋଉଟା କି ଚାଲିଛି। ସିଙ୍ଗଲ ଲାଇନରେ କହିବା ପାଇଁ ଗଲେ ମୁଁ ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ ବେସ୍ କଣ୍ଟେଣ୍ଟ ପ୍ରୋଭାଇଡ କରୁଛି ଆଜ ଗୋଟେ କମ୍ୟୁନିଟି ପ୍ଲାଟଫର୍ମ କରିକି। ସିମ୍ପଲି ୟାକୁ ଆଉ ଟିକେ ସିମ୍ପ୍ଲିଫାଇ କରିଦେଲେ ଲିଙ୍କଡିନ୍ ଆଉ ଆମାଜନ କିଣ୍ଡଲ ଦିଟା ଆପ୍ଲିକେସନକୁ ମର୍ଜ କରିଦେଲେ ଗୋଟେ ଆଉଟପୁଟ୍ ଯାହା ଆସିବ ସେଇ ଟାଇପର ଆପ୍ଲିକେସନ କରୁଛି। ହ୍ୟାରାଜ ମୁଁ କଣ୍ଟେଣ୍ଟ ସିକ୍ୟୁରିଟି ପ୍ରୋଭାଇଡ କରୁଛି ସିଙ୍ଗଲ ପ୍ଲାଟଫର୍ମରେ। ତ ମୋର କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ଏଇଟା, ମୁଁ ଏବେ ରିସେଣ୍ଟ ଯୋଉ ଇନଭେଷ୍ଟର ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଆପ୍ରୋଚ୍ କରୁଛି, ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ପ୍ରାୟ 50-60 ଜଣ ଇନଭେଷ୍ଟର ମୁଁ ମେଲ୍ କରିଦେଲେଣି, ସମସ୍ତେ ରିଭ୍ୟୁ କଲେ ଓକେ, କିନ୍ତୁ ସେମାନେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ସମ୍ ଟ୍ରାକ୍ସନ୍ ଆମକୁ ଦରକାର ଇନ୍ ଆପ୍ଲିକେସନ ଆସିବା ପରେ। କିନ୍ତୁ ଆପ୍ଲିକେସନ ଆସିବା ପାଇଁ ମତେ ଆଉ କିଛି ଫଣ୍ଡର ରିକ୍ୱାରମେଣ୍ଟ ପଡୁଛି। ତ ମୁଁ ଏଇ ସିଚୁଏସନରେ କଣ କରିବି? ସମସ୍ତେ କିଛି ଯୋଉ ଇନଭେଷ୍ଟରଙ୍କୁ ମୁଁ ଆପ୍ରୋଚ୍ କରୁଛି ସେମ୍ ଆସୁଛି, we need some traction from you, you work with in future, ମାନେ ଆମେ ଫ୍ୟୁଚରରେ କାମ କରିବୁ, ଆମେ ଟ୍ରାକ୍ସନ ଚାହୁଁଛୁ। ହେଲେ ମୋ ପାଖରେ ଏବେ ଟ୍ରାକ୍ସନ ଆଣିବା ପାଇଁ ବି ସେତିକି ଫଣ୍ଡ ନାହିଁ କି ମୁଁ ଟ୍ରାକ୍ସନ ନେଇକି ଯିବି। ମୋ ପାଖରେ ଯେତିକି ଟିମ୍ କାମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି କି ଏସବୁ ଅଛି, ତାଙ୍କୁ ନେକ୍ସଟ 2 to 3 month ଭିତରେ ସାଲାରୀ ପେମେଣ୍ଟ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ବି ମୋ ପାଖରେ ବାଲାନ୍ସ ନାହିଁ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଏଇ ସିଚୁଏସନରେ। ତ ଇନ୍ ଦିସ୍ ସିଚୁଏସନ ମୁଁ ମାନେ କୋଉ ଆପ୍ରୋଚ୍ କଲେ ବେଟର ହେଇପାରିବ ଟୁ ମୋ ପାଇଁ ଏଇଟା କଣ ଆଡଭାଇସ୍ ରହିବ, ବା କୋଉ ଏମିତି ଓଡିଶାରେ କିଏ ଏଞ୍ଜେଲ ଇନଭେଷ୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟ କରୁଛନ୍ତି କିମ୍ବା ଡେପ୍ଟ ଫାର୍ମ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଯୋଉମାନେ କି ଇନିସିଆଲ ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟର ପାଇଁ ମତେ ହେଲ୍ପ କରିପାରିବେ ସର୍ଟ ଟର୍ମ ପାଇଁ?
Obviously, sir, you can.
So ମାନେ ମୋର ଫର ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ କ'ଣ ସିଚୁଏସନ୍ ଅଛି ତା ବିଷୟରେ ବିଶେଷ ଅଭିଜ୍ଞତା ନାହିଁ, ସେଥିପାଇଁକା ମୁଁ ଜାଣିନି କ'ଣ
ଓକେ ସାର୍, ମୁଁ ଆଉଟ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଓଡ଼ିଶା ଅଲ୍ ଇଣ୍ଡିଆ ବେସିସରେ ବି ମୁଁ ନେଇପାରିବି, କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ। କିନ୍ତୁ ମତେ ଏବେ ସର୍ଟ ଟର୍ମ ହେଲ୍ପ ଯୋଉଟା ରିକ୍ୱାରମେଣ୍ଟ ପଡୁଛି, ତ ସେ ସର୍ଟ ଟର୍ମ ହେଲ୍ପ ପାଇଁ ମୁଁ କ'ଣ କରିବା ଉଚିତ ହବ? ତ ମୁଁ ଯେତିକି ବି ଇନଭେଷ୍ଟରଙ୍କୁ କରୁଛି, କିଛି ଜଣ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ପ୍ରି କୋଭିଡ ସିଚୁଏସନରେ ଆମକୁ ଆଇଡିଆ ଷ୍ଟେଜରେ ଇନଭେଷ୍ଟ କରୁଥିଲୁ, ଏବେ ଏକ୍ଜିକ୍ୟୁଟିଂ ମାନେ ଯଦି ଏକ୍ଜିକ୍ୟୁସନ ନାହିଁ ତାହେଲେ କିଛି ହେଇପାରୁନି, ଟ୍ରାକ୍ସନ ଆମକୁ ଦରକାର। ଅଲ୍ ଇନଭେଷ୍ଟର ସେଇଂ ଦିସ୍, ମାନେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ସିଚୁଏସନ ଏଇଆ ହିଁ ଆସୁଛି। ମୁଁ ଯେତିକି ଇନଭେଷ୍ଟରଙ୍କୁ ଆପ୍ରୋଚ୍ କରି ସାରିଛି, କିନ୍ତୁ ମତେ ଏବେ କମ୍ପାନୀକୁ ରନିଂ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଯୋଉ 10-12 ଜଣ ମୋ ସହିତ କାମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କୁ ବି ଆଗକୁ ନେବା ପାଇଁ ମାନେ ଯୋଉ ଫଣ୍ଡ ଦରକାର ସେ ଫଣ୍ଡକୁ ମୁଁ ଆଣିକି ଆଗକୁ କେମିତି ଯିବି ଯେ ହେଇପାରିବ। ସେଥିପାଇଁ ମୁଁ ଗେମିଫିକେସନ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛି। ହୁଏତ ମତେ ମାର୍କେଟିଂରେ ଆଗାମୀ 6 ମାସ ପାଇଁ ବିଶେଷ ଇନଭେଷ୍ଟ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ପଡିବନି। ଗେମିଫିକେସନ ଥ୍ରୋରେ ମୁଁ କିଛିଟା କଷ୍ଟମର ଆକ୍ୱିଜିସନ କରିକି ଯୋଉମାନେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କୁ ମୁଁ ଆପ୍ରୋଚ୍ କରିପାରିବି। କିନ୍ତୁ ସର୍ଟ ଟର୍ମ ବେସିସରେ କିଏ ମତେ ହେଲ୍ପ କରିପାରିବ ଇନ୍ ଦିସ୍ ସିଚୁଏସନ?
I think ଏଇ ପାଇଁକା ହିଁ ସେ ଯୋଉ OCF ଭଳିଆ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜେସନର ମାନେ ଜେନେସିସ୍ ଅଫ୍ OCF ହଉଛି ଏଇ ସବୁ ସିଚୁଏସନକୁ ହ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡଲ କରିବା ପାଇଁକା, କି ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ଅପରଚ୍ୟୁନିଟି ଆପଣ ଦେଖୁଛନ୍ତି ସେଇ ଅପରଚ୍ୟୁନିଟିକୁ ବ୍ୟାକ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁକା ଲୋକମାନେ ଏଇ ଗ୍ରୁପରେ ହିଁ ଥାଇପାରନ୍ତି, and there can be people outside this group also. ତ ସେଇଟାକୁ ସୁରଜ ବାବୁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ମାନେ you have to figure out how to provide the platform for someone like you to reach out to a broader audience.
Yes.
Avinash, you could write to me, tamar@nestaway.com. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Any other questions? So this is actually a genuine problem what you are facing, Avinash. So we'll address that, and but let's see. You just put the queries into the OCF platform and also write to Amarendra and write to me also. If you require, we'll help you.
Yes, sure, sir.
Our
Sure, sir.
personal
Thank you.
capacity also we can help you. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Is there any other queries? Okay, well and good then. Today's takeaway is that we came to know when we require capital and what are the stages of your company or your startup, you should raise capital. And second thing is that capital is not important always. So you should concentrate on your product, team and all. And whenever required capital is ready. And third thing is that for Odisha, we need to build a strong consulting team, or we should gather people who have knowledge about the startups and the ecosystem and all. And meanwhile, we should connect to the entrepreneurs who are doing something innovative things, or they are building the startups. And then after that, we can come up with a plan how to facilitate them. As Anand told, it is a pure quality basis, so there should be a payment model. And also, Susan sir told we should find out who all are the investors, at least 10 or 15 people from Odisha who can invest in the startup ecosystem. So these are the takeaways from this webinar.
Even
And-
Gandhar, we have to find out at least 10 good startup who wants money
Yeah.
also. That
Yes,
concept.
sir. Yes, sir. 10 startups, 10 investors, 10 VC fund, whom we should keep in touch. So in the next growth phase, we'll do that. And my feeling is about the Avinash problem, we should come up with an emergency fund, or we should find out at least 5-6 people in Odisha who can put money in an emergency basis, wherever is needed, like what Avinash is facing the problem. So these are the takeaway, and we'll definitely work in this direction, and we'll come up with a plan. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you everyone. If anyone have any queries, write to us. Thank you, Amit. Thank you, Amrendra, for your time. We are just was out of time, but it is a good discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Gandhar. Thank you, Singh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So we are there now.
Hello.
Gandhar ଅଛନ୍ତି ନା ଗଲେଣି ପଳେଇ? ଗନ୍ଧାଦେବ ଅଛନ୍ତି? ଗନ୍ଧାଦେବ ଅଛନ୍ତି କି? ଆଉ କିଏ ଅଛନ୍ତି?
Hello. Hello, Suraj bhai, namaskar. Susan bhai, namaskar.
ନମସ୍କାର ନମସ୍କାର ମିରେ।
ଆପଣ ଅଛନ୍ତି
Yes.
ମୁଁ ଟିକେ
ନାଇଁ, ନାଇଁ,
ଅପେକ୍ଷା
ଆମର-
କରିଥିଲି।
ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ ଆୱାର ଏରିଆ, ଆମେ କେମିତି ଛାଡିବୁ? ନା ଆମର ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ଆସିଥିଲେ, ଯେ ଆମର ଯୋଉ ବାଙ୍ଗାଲୋର ଭାଇ ଆମର ଆସିଥିଲେ ସିଂହ, ସେ ଆମର ସାଙ୍ଗ। ତାଙ୍କୁ ଫାଷ୍ଟ ଡକେଇଥିଲି 2 ବର୍ଷ ତଳେ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିଥିଲୁ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟଅପ୍, ସେ ଆସିଥିଲେ ଫାଷ୍ଟ ଗେଷ୍ଟ ହେଇକି।
ଓକେ ଓକେ। ନାଇଁ ମୁଁ ଆଜି 12ଟା ବେଳେ ମୁଁ ଆଟେଣ୍ଡ କରିବା କଥା ଅପେକ୍ଷା ପଳେଇଲି।
ହଁ ହଁ
ହେଇଗଲା ଲଗେଇଲା ବେଳକୁ ସରିଲାଣି।
ହଁ ହଁ। ନାଇଁ ଏମିତି ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି ମଝିରେ ବହୁତ ଆସିଥିଲେ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟଅପ୍, ଆରାଉଣ୍ଡ 60 ଖଣ୍ଡେ ଆସିଥିଲେ। ତ ଆମେ ସର୍ଟଲିଷ୍ଟ କରିଥିଲେ, 12-15ଟା କରିଥିଲେ। ଭଲ କନସେପ୍ଟ ଥିଲା। ଏ ମାନେ ସ୍ଲୋଲି ମାନେ ୟୁ କୁଡଣ୍ଟ ହାଭ୍ ଏନି ସିଙ୍ଗଲ ଗୋଟେ ପାଥ୍ ତମେ କଣ କରିବ ବୋଲି, ସେ ପୁଣି ଗନ୍ ଆଉଟ୍ ୱେ। ଯାଉ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଟିକେ ଆସିଛି ଗୋଟେ ଟ୍ରାକ୍ କୁ ଡେଭଲପ୍ କରି ଆମର ଗନ୍ତାଦେବ ଧରିକି ଆମର ସେ ବମ୍ବେରେ ଯୋଉ ସୁରଜ ବାବୁ ଅଛନ୍ତି, ଆଇ ଥିଙ୍କ ଡୁ ସମଥିଙ୍ଗ।
ନାଇଁ ନାଇଁ, ସୁରଜ ବାବୁର ମୁଁ ସେ ଜଣେ ଆମର ଏଠାର ୟଙ୍ଗ ଇନୋଭେଟର ଅଛନ୍ତି, ସୁଶାନ୍ତ ପଟ୍ଟନାୟକ। ତାଙ୍କର ଗ୍ରୁପରେ ପୋଷ୍ଟ ହେଇଛି, 6ଟା ପ୍ରେସିଡେଣ୍ଟ ଆୱାର୍ଡ ମିଳିଛି ତାଙ୍କୁ। ଋତିକ ରୋଶନ ର ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମ ରେ ବି ସେ ଆସୁଛନ୍ତି। ତାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ମୁଁ କଥା ହେଲି, ସେ କହିଲେ ହଁ ଠିକ ହବ। ସେ ତାଙ୍କର ସବୁ ଇଏ ଗୁଡାକ ପିଚ୍ ଗୁଡାକ ସେମାନେ ଦେବେ, ସୁରଜ ବାବୁଙ୍କୁ ଦେବେ, ସୋ ଦ୍ୟାଟ ତାର ଟିକେ ୱାଇଡ ପବ୍ଲିସିଟି ହବ।
ହଁ ନାଇଁ କଲେ ଭଲ ହୁଅନ୍ତା। ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି चारि पांच जन जदि आमे धरिकी किछि फंडिंग आसिला माने दैट न्यूज विल गो द न्यूज विल गो टू मार्केट हियर
राइट सेटा
बढ़िया कांसेप्ट चारि पांचटा कांसेप्ट अछि बढ़िया कांसेप्ट अछि जाने हम सुनि जे जाने फार्मर बढ़िया करथि गोटे ऑनलाइन मेडिसिन पई आ जने से हमर करला गोटे हमर जो ब्रेकवे गाड़ी जो ब्रेकडाउन हो जाए ऑन द रोड रे ता पे गोटे करला एवरी 10 किलोमीटर दे हैव गोटे सेटअप and they have tied up with all the Maruti dealers or other repair shops and जेम हमर अर्बन क्लब भले गोटे
करेक्ट
आउ जने माने बढ़िया बढ़िया कांसेप्ट अछि किंतु तांको एनकरेज करी कंटिन्यू करले हबो
राइट
बुझले कि हमर आस्ते जो कलकत्ता जो कलकत्ता जो स्कूल आई नो दैट the school has got funding from Aviskar one of my friend was mentoring them हमर से अछंती मिस्टर चक्रवर्ती and Mukherjee there I think he must have left who was talking Mr. Mukherjee somebody there no
अच्छा नहीं आज केते जण प्राय
आस्ते आराम देखि मैक्सिमम थिला अराउंड 30 गण थिले 33 थिले मैक्सिमम केते आगु थिले के and it is good actually this is an interest jaha pa interest they will come it not all will come it is
हां एग्जैक्टली हमर नंबर रे कोन मतलब
number we out of 30 suppose 3-4 are getting money also if they are interested we need them we don't have numbers it is not a like or massive for farmers ye no je समस्या आसी it is a very selected who wants money who has got a concept
हां हमें तको किछि जण को भी एनेबल कर देले
हां आउ सब के अछि वर्तन ग्रुप रे
आउ आई थिंक ओके अच्छा
एबे सब काउ अछि 12-13 अछि की अछि
उनके मैडम अच्छा
मानव बसंती आकाश सूरत गंतात रूपा मुद्रा खुंटिया बसंती श्रुति शिवानंद पंडा सरोज भाई बसंती हां करेक्ट अच्छा ठीक है आई थिंक इट्स अगेन इट्स अ गुड बिगिनिंग अगेन द स्टार्ट असकदम कथा हेइतली हमरा मेरा मतलब कथा हेइतली
हां मेरा तो अच्छी जस्ट कल
हां कथा होतली well at least je startup photo hoji कारण it's a small circle even this our today was the speaker saying he first one I invited him for this meeting
नहीं डाटा कैप्चर करके हमें ठीक प्रॉपर्ली लिंक कराया कथा
हां तर हमको actually we have to माने zero down either maybe 5-6 the serious funding those want funding also suppose you are saying Oriya people if they want to really help in funding let them zero down also 2-3 I instead give me 2-3 names who really want we will give him 5 company 5 concepts
राइट
बोले कि बड़ा concept ठीक अछि आउ
एग्जैक्टली नहीं से जो थिले हमर सुशांत पटनायक इनोवेटर ओटे 3-4टा तांगर पेटेंट अछि ऑलरेडी
अच्छा राइट
हम 26 वर्ष तक 3टा पेटेंट अछि
हां
बहुत 6टा प्रेसिडेंट अवार्ड में तांकर गोटे पिच टेक तयारी करके हम टिके देले सूरज बाबू को ही विल
हां
और टिके फर्दर नेक्स्ट लेवल को नहीं किछ
नहीं ठीक अछि आपण सकाळ सकाळ आसिरे ओसी ऑफिस पळे आसिल ना
हां ऑफिस एस्टिमेटेड नेक्स्ट कॉल ये सोच
ते मूवी नेक्स्ट वीक आसिरे अछि आसले कथा हवा हैं
बस
ओके
ठीक है ओके बाय
थैंक यू बाय नमस्कार